Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin and
David Wynn.
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in every market. Hey, today, guys, we've got returning co-host Rafael Amaro from the Amaro Group out of South Florida. And Rafael, you always bring these big giants in the industry. Brother, who'd you bring along today?
Well, today I bring a very successful agent, on this market, Vania Herrera. And success can be described in many ways, but one thing that I like about working with him is his level of professionalism and focus on the details of the transaction to make the process always very easy for their clients. So here we are. We got a legend here.
Thank you so much, Rafael, for the opportunity. So I'm very happy to be here with you guys today.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today. We're super excited to have you here. So we know Rafael is out there in Boca Raton. What part of Florida do you represent?
Miami, all the area of Miami-Dade County, Broward mostly, but I'm located in Miami.
The coolest city in the United States.
They say that.
My man. Well, the coolest city that's not so cool because it gets pretty hot down there. But, man, what a great place. We were just out there not that long ago. Love Miami.
Cool.
So are you from Miami originally, or where'd you get your start?
I'm originally from Cuba. I was born and raised in Cuba. I came to the States in 2007. So my entire family is from Cuba. So when I came, it's funny. Funny story. I never thought about real estate. It's something that you don't see actually in Cuba. As most people know, it's a communist country. My wife got me into real estate. She thought of me that I had some kind of skill, the type of sales personality, and she thought it was gonna be good for this. So because my first intention was to get into business and accounting, I have an MBA, and I was gonna do a specialization in accounting to become a CPA. And she said, "Why don't you try this? You like selling. You have a great personality. You're good with people, good with numbers." So that's it. Here we are. So I guess she had a really good vision of me. So I'm grateful for that every single day.
A wise woman once said, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So what year was that you got started in real estate?
I started real estate back in 2000, the end of 2011 or beginning of 2012. So most people, the first few years is rough. I mean, especially coming from Cuba, I don't know anybody. I don't have those relationships. And, sometimes between not knowing the culture of this country, the business structure, it was tough. And at the beginning, it was the first few years I didn't do pretty much anything. Little by little, I was glad to be a part of the team and kind of guide me through it and, kind of give me the first few opportunities. And, little by little I was building, my network, my clients, and, learning every single day. One thing I was very passionate about it. And I never felt, since day one, I never felt that I was doing like a job. I really felt passionate about it. I think that's one of the reasons why I stick to it. Really rough times, really difficult times at the beginning, but that's what I think that will make me keep going through and always seeing the light, the tunnel. So.
I think more than sir. Let's yes, the first couple of years was rough in real estate, but you're a first generation immigrant from coming to this country. I gotta believe the transition to that isn't easy either. You're the epitome of the American dream. You come here,
That's right.
first generation immigrant coming from another country and find tremendous success in less than 20 years.
Less than a decade, really.
Kudos to you.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Thank you. And the thing is, I had a lot of pushback, and a lot of people, especially my family, they never believed in me. They thought I was crazy. Again, I always say it again, coming from Cuba. In Cuba, nobody sell any home in Cuba. Nobody buy homes in Cuba. Now, in the last few years, things have changed. But back in the day when I grew up in Cuba, that didn't exist. So my knowledge of concept, even as a customer of anything real estate, has zero, none. So that's even for me, it was even tougher, to learn how, all these structures and, the concept of real estate. Because some people coming from other countries, we all immigrate from somewhere. But even from South America and Europe, other countries, they buy, sell properties. They real estate exists everywhere in the world. But in Cuba, we never had that concept. So yeah, it was completely off from zero, from nothing. So yes,
Well,
and on top of that, learn the language.
yeah, there's more to it than that too, and you may not even know this because you weren't here before then. But 11 and 12, we were just coming out of a mortgage crisis, right? We had just gotten back to what would be called a more normal market because prior to 11 and 12, we had the situation with the subprime crash where everything had really just, we were writing loans to everybody. And, post subprime crash, 2008, 2009, 2010, the underwriting really tightened up. Lenders weren't allowed to lend. We didn't know what we could lend. And as a result of that, there were a lot of people out there that weren't paying cash that needed financing, and they just couldn't get finance. So you're coming out of this crisis when people weren't able to buy homes, and you're landing in the mortgage or the real estate market right at the time when it was starting to kind of open back up a little bit, but not everybody was successful in those periods of time. So you come in brand new, no knowledge of the market, with no real understanding of how to do this type of business because it's completely new to you. And within a couple of years, you're having success. Come on, brother! Like that's
Thank
amazing.
So yeah, that's something that I always thought that it was good. I mean, kind of lucky, we kind of saying in the saying that in the sense that yeah, like you said, I just started when the market was really slow,
Yeah.
and that's why I always say no matter what happens in the market, I feel that I'm gonna continue my success because ups and down market because I really
That's
started
it.
when I didn't know anything, I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any network, any clientele, any referral base, nothing, and it was really tough back then. So yes, I think I totally agree with you. So thank you for
So let's
pointing
stay
that out.
back in 2012, 2013, and you're just getting in. When was it? How long did it take before you really started having some success?
I always say at least 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
The first year, remember, I didn't do any transaction at all, nothing. And the second year, I did a few rentals, so maybe one or two sales. That's it. And I do really remember sometimes that I wonder how a lot of people that come new into the business they think. Unfortunately, the media gives a really wrong perception of the business to people that they think they get into real estate and they're gonna become millionaires, they're gonna be successful, they're gonna be running a lot of business, and that's not really the case. And I remember back in the day, in those years, I was driving a lot, many hours, many days with many, many people. And a lot of times it was a waste of time, and, it was really, really rough. So, but I would say after 2 years, after 3 or 4 years, when you do good for the client, for the customer, they keep coming back, they keep referring you, and slowly that's how you start building, a database of clients, and it's all about that. It's always looking at beginning. I think I always looked and something that my wife also, aligned me with that, and then opened that mind to me to that always looking at the long-term relationship. That is something that I think I also got it from my business background in school.
Right.
That not looking as a transaction, I would never look at it in a transactional way. I looked at a building relationship. I never looked at the first check that I'm gonna give, earn from a transaction, doing this transaction with you, but what it becomes in the future, in 4, 5, 10 years. And that's what I think. I was patient and I was looking at the long-term picture. So that's what I think in the beginning what really helped me.
So let's talk about this. So first 2 years, kind of a bust. No sales the first year. Second year, a little bit, and third year, maybe we're starting to. Why didn't you give up? What kept you ticking over that period of time that made you say, I'm sticking with this?
I think two things. Number one, what I said at the beginning, that I always been very passionate about real estate. It's something that I really like. Since I liked, I never felt that it was a job to me. It was kind of a hobby, and I'm making, I can make money. So that is something very important to me. So And number two, I saw the increment, the people going back, the going back to me and referred to me. And also, I had to say, also 80% of that, my wife believing in me. My wife said, it is tough, but I know you're going to be successful. I know you're going to be really good at it. And it was believing. Actually, it didn't. I cannot say that for sure I knew that I was going to have the success that I have today. I just believe in myself and believe in the ability of help others. And also, the beginning, usually I had really rough transactions, and I was able to, to overcome those objections and those problems, situations, and I was really good at it. I think if I'm making the wrong one, the difficult ones to happen, I think not every single transaction is gonna be like that. It's gonna get better. So I believe myself. My wife believe in me, and I have a lot of support from my wife, my family, in my house, with my wife, my daughter. So yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So 3 years in, start to see a little something, and how'd that look from there to here? What did it just happen real fast overnight? It was like, man, this is actually really turning into something great, or was it still kind of a steady growth over those last 11 years?
I would say that it was. I would say that it was a steady growth.
Yeah.
It's always been like between 5 to 10 to 15% growth every year, and it has been consistent. And 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 also the thing is, I think in my particular case, since early on in my career, my background is in math, in numbers.
Right.
So one thing that really helped me, I found, I was able to connect and build relationship with a few investors, individuals that they were doing multiple transactions a year. That itself it helped me, and the reason why I was able to do that, because besides the ethics, the principle, and all of that, I was really good with numbers, and that's something that people always saw in me. So besides just showing homes, opening doors and things like that, and in the market that I was back then, well, in the market that I am right now too, that's something that really makes a difference to consumers, to buyers and sellers, and that really helped me to retain those clients for a very long time.
That's awesome. So you started to build a little bit of a niche, working with some investors, peppered in with the sphere that you'd been building, and now here we are in 2024, and you've actually survived a couple different things because you came in, you overcame being new to the industry, and then of course we had COVID, which was an anomaly, and quite frankly, one of the biggest real estate markets we've ever seen, but the calm after the storm. So how'd that work out for you? There's a lot of folks out there that's just kind of slowed down. You've kept your numbers up, right? How'd you do that? How'd you keep your numbers moving forward while other people were failing?
Well, I think number one is living in Florida. That we were lucky that real estate was one of the essential business code,
Yeah.
and we were able to do real estate. And again, I think also coming from Cuba, it's hard. It's hard anything that scary to scare me.
Yeah.
So I was never afraid of so much of COVID. I was, I protected myself, I protected others. But I never let any of that, to hold me down. And one thing that a lot of people didn't want to go out. A lot of people didn't want to meet. A lot of realtors didn't want to meet with other people. So I was selling real estate, meeting people via Zoom, but most people was meeting them in person. My philosophy was, hey, if you're willing to meet with me, let's meet up and let's do business. And that's what happened. So yes, during COVID, I sold a lot of real estate. And my wife, at all times, she tells me that one of my best years was during COVID. And not because I sold many more than other years. It's not because I didn't do anything different. It's just the fact a lot of people in a business, they just pull out or they slow down. I never did. And also I think, it helped me the fact that I'm Spanish, I'm from Cuba. So my market is usually 80 to 90% Spanish. A little them are Cubans. So I think Cubans that had the same mentality, most Cubans that had the same mentality that I had back then. I mean, it's fine. I mean, if I had to put a mask to go to place because I'm forced to, I would do it. But it's not that I cannot go out, I cannot meet people. So yeah, so actually it was really good to me. So you know what? If another pandemic comes, I welcome it too. So.
Oh man. Our mentor's down there in Florida. He said, the reason I love Florida market is like because we can sell homes all year round. We don't get snow drifts, and you guys get some hurricanes. There's no question about that, right? But at the end of the day, when most people think about where do I want to retire, Florida always pops up to the top of the list because it's just a beautiful place. It's also such a centralized hub. When first immigrants are coming over to the United States, Florida seems to be one of the places they all like to land. In Miami, because of its name, you guys just have such a poppin' real estate market. So you're not in a bad place to be to have that success. But what I love that you said was that it didn't happen soon. It didn't happen quick. I didn't get in and just make money overnight. It was the steady, slow play, the game, and I had this beautiful, amazing woman behind me that said, "Honey, you're going to do this. You're amazing at what you do, and I believe in you." And man, look at you today. Look at you guys today.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that's something that I always when I speak with new agents in my team and all the new agents that I talk to, on the business. So that success. A lot of times, I get a lot of agents that they just very upfront. They ask me, "Oh, Vania, what are you doing? Oh, Vania, how are you getting so many listings? Oh, Vania, how this, how that?" So, well, things doesn't happen overnight. It's not something I just give you a secret and just take the secret and that's it. It's done. It takes time. So, and I tell everybody, I was where you are, for 2 or 3 years, and I like we say, like you say in English, I pay my dues, you know. So yeah, so definitely it doesn't happen overnight. Unfortunately, in this business, and I think maybe Rafael can talk about that too. Even in lending, I think in every this business, people think that things happen overnight. We see somebody else, another person in the business that is successful, then he says, "Oh, okay, so I can be as well, but tomorrow." So yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about your team. So you've got a team now. What's that look like?
It's a small team. I had like 3 agents, including one of them, including my wife. So and we have
Oh,
an
that's a tough
assistant.
one. That's the most tough one.
Yeah,
She's probably better
yeah.
than you. She's probably better than you.
Absolutely. Believe it or not, like I said, I'm here today because of her. She kept believing in me. She motivated me. She grew me also. And yeah, and she taught me everything. Not everything, once she taught me the basics. And I think I got a really good mentor in that sense. So, and I just, went, my ways in that sense. But yeah, but she's really good and she's really tough. And something that she told me since day one. I said real estate is about people. It's about relationship with people, and she's amazing with people. I think she's even better than me by far with people. It's like anybody that she connects with, everybody loves her, and so that is something I think I had a really good mentor in that sense. You know,
The secret
you know,
weapon.
and I want to say something that you said that I think Miami. You were talking about the Miami market, like you said. We're
Yeah.
not going to talk about numbers or anything, but I would like to say that Miami in the past few years has really changed. That that ideology that Miami or Florida itself is just a retirement, that had changed completely between COVID, between the weather,
Yeah.
between the a lot of people from one state moving to Florida in the past, I would say 4 or 5 years. The Miami market has changed a lot. The Miami market is not anymore the retirement market. Miami market is one of the hottest market in the country, if it's not the
It is.
hottest. Of course, price point wise, we're still behind New York, still behind maybe some cities, maybe some place in Chicago, California, but Miami itself is a really, really hot market right now in the past few years. So yeah.
Well, we took a chance to go down there and meet with Raphael, and he took us on a tour, and we saw some of the the big businesses that you guys are bringing in. So it's no wonder that you guys have such a hot market. You've got a lot of things happening down there, and man, just a lot of beautiful things to do. It is just absolutely unbelievable the way that city has progressed. So. Love getting a chance to get out there and spend some time with you too, Raphael. So, Rafi, you're down there with Vanya. Talk to me, brother.
I just want to expand on what Vania says. When I first moved to South Florida, the first time in 1999, I didn't know much about it. I got pretty much the same background as Vania. Then I had the opportunity to move to Georgia, and then I moved back in 2006. 2006, I was already doing for 5 years residential and commercial real estate, and I kind of understand the Miami market. I'm not gonna say that I'm an expert, but I can tell you one thing: Miami has been transformed to be a place to come down and have fun, and it has become a tech job. I mean, a tech hub. Is also a medical hub. Miami, Jackson University of Miami / Jackson Memorial area. It has all the medical specialties that you can ever need in the planet. So that drives a lot of young professionals, graduated from medicine specialties, all these new technologies that have been developed. These people bring in jobs and bring in high paid jobs. And with them, they bring their wife, their family, and the biggest advantage that we have that the state has been run very well. Of course, there's problems everywhere, but it's improvement, and that is keep driving wealthy people to come down to Florida and give us an opportunity to do business, with people at a higher level on the income scale, but also help families in the lower middle class to relocate to other parts of Florida, because from Miami have become a hub. I call it personally the capital of Latin America. Anybody in Latin America that has money wants to own a piece of Miami. Can be a house or can be a condo. And that's what Bania having so much success, okay, because he speaks the language. But also in my business, on our business, Devin and David, we're able to help relocate a lot of family to the west coast of Florida, where houses at half of the price of Miami, to Ocala, Central Florida. So that's why probably we're having so much success, because it's a very dynamic state. I'm finding partners like Bania, okay, that trust the process that we have, okay. And by the way, okay, I was very pleased dealing with his customer, to the point that I keep talking to her, and she keep telling me we already closed the transaction with her, but she keep talking to me about how wonderful Bania is and how long she knows Bania and all that. But the most important is, it goes to show you that business, I mean, real estate is a people's person relationship. We close the transaction. She's still answering the phone because the way we treat her. Most important, she's keep throwing flowers to Bania. You know what I mean? And his team. So that's what I have to say about the whole Miami and Bania. And I see that Bania could have a greater and brighter success doing what he's doing right now. I believe in a year from now, his team can double or triple.
Thank you.
And we
Yes.
haven't shared, David, we haven't shared none of the tools that I have at his disposal yet. We haven't had a chance. He's too busy.
So and to say what Rafael said, it is true, because Miami is moving so much. I'm sorry, guys, if I just constantly talk so much about my wife, but she's always saying that New York and California disrupted the Miami market. But because of that, the Miami market disrupting a lot of markets down North Florida, Central Florida, and like Rafael said, I have a lot of clients. Most of them that they're selling their home here in Miami, moving to Ocala, to Tampa, Port St. Lucie, and so on. And because of that, thanks to that, so every time that I get a client, it's like a two transaction. It's selling their home and buying another property. So that in itself, like Rafael said, it allows us to do a lot of business, because Miami is moving a lot. And I'm gonna give you guys a story that I would that people don't realize when it comes to this business, and it summarizes everything that I have said before. So because I never looked at a transaction as a commission check. I never looked at somebody as a commission check or one transaction. I always really in my heart believe in helping people. And by helping people and be genuine and be good, be honest, people will see that on you, because I notice that people sense you push it when you're just being fake, when you're just being have a ulterior motive. So one time, one of those investors, many years ago, I was selling one of his homes, and then there was a first-time buyer family, and then she came with her realtor, and then she was having issues with the transaction at the end. And the realtor, once he knew that the deal was almost done, he just 2 days before closing, the realtor disappeared. Her realtor disappeared, and she contacted me. She contacted me, and this is a true story that I will take with me. I mean, this has impacted me so much. She contacted me asking me as a favor. She said, "Look, Vania, I know you represent the seller. I have my own realtor, but my realtor doesn't answer me, this and that. I need this help with this, with the house, this repair, whatever. Can you?" And I said, "You know what? I'm gonna talk to my seller, because he's an investor. We do a lot of deals every year. So that's one of the investors that helped me in the beginning to kind of start building my business." And then I helped her. And up to this day, that lady, she has been so grateful to me that buyer has represented so many business. I would say at least 40, 50 transactions have come from her. And it because she had referred me with somebody, and that person referred me another one. But at the end, one time I did like a family tree, and like 50 to 60 transactions came from her originally.
My goodness.
And I'm always at something that I don't think anybody would believe me. But if that realtor would know what she has lost by not answering the phone call to that buyer or her, because she already knew that she was getting paid her check, she would kill herself. I mean, in a metaphorical way to put it. I can't believe that this is the person that I had generated more business from in my entire career. And true story, I have never sold directly real estate to her. Last year, I was going to sell her home and then buy another home, but something happened in her finances, her husband's job, and she asked me to find a way to let her walk away from both transactions without any problems. And I was able to. She was super grateful to me. But this is a true story. I have never directly worked with her in a transaction or closed any transaction. And she has given more business than anybody can imagine. And that's a proof of that's what happened in this business. So many people that get the real estate license, they do 1 or 2 deals. Why? Because they only look at the business. They don't really want to help people, and they don't look at the long-term relationship. And one advice that I always tell people, something that I learned years ago, every single client that you have, there is a cycle in life. If you do right by them, you will sell them 4 to 5 times in their lifetime. And if you do the math, that right in there guarantee your success for a long time, So that's what I've been focused on in many years.
Yeah. Well, you're helping them, you're helping their family, you're helping their loved ones and their friends, because again, this one kind gesture you had, right? This person's trapped. They're stuck. They don't have representation because the person supposed to represent them just walked away, right? And they're looking for you. And there you are. I got you, right? I'm here. I will help guide you through. And now as a result of that, they know the sacrifice you made to just stop everything you were doing to help them, and they feel grateful. And now you've got a lifetime of blessings because you did one great thing for one person. And that's how this industry works, right? We've talked to agents that say, hey, look, we figure out how to help people. If they need to move something, we get it moved for them. If we need to get up in the attic and take care, we get up there in the attic, we take care of it. It's so funny how great agents like yourself, Vaughn, you just take that extra mile, that extra step to help people. And as a result, you ultimately have more success than the ones that are doing it for the paycheck, because the blessings just come back again and again and again, man. So, man, great stuff, Vania. What a great story. What a great story. And,
Thank
if you're an agent listening into this, take those words to heart, right? Serve your people, serve them well, and they'll bring you business time and time and time again.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the thing is, what happens is a lot of times that clients, they have mentioned this to me. I said, you are genuine. You do things just to help me without knowing if we're going to get a benefit. A lot of times I don't even get a benefit. I don't get anything back.
Yeah.
But I always believe that some point in life, it's going to be good to me. Some way, somehow, I'm gonna be rewarded for that action. Because like I said, back then, I didn't get any benefit from her. The transaction was closed, and that's it. But just because you do good and really help people sincerely, it really pays. It pays well. At the end of the day, it pays well. And
Well, look
people are
at you now.
short-minded.
Look at you
Thank you.
now,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Look
that's
where you
true.
are
Yeah.
today. So, well, hey, Vanya, we'd love to keep you here all day, but we know you got to get back to your beautiful wife and all the families you serve. What have we not tackled today that we should have?
No, I think we did tackle everything today. And once again, thank you so much, Guy, for this opportunity. For giving me the opportunity to share a little bit of my, my career and my life.
My man. No, thank you for sharing. What a beautiful story. Came over here with an idea and a dream and made it happen. Made it happen. And with the support of somebody who's been there for you, pushing you along every step of the way and, serving the people, doing it for the right reasons. Vanya, guys, when the folks out there want to find you, we know you're in South Florida, Miami, and the surrounding areas. What all markets do you serve? Are you just Miami and
Miami-Dade and Broward. I do have, however, like I said, I have a team, and the younger agents in my team, they have served a lot of clients throughout Florida, in Ocala and Tampa. So yeah, and the good thing is, and part of a network in my company that we can refer business to each other in different part of the state, the country. I have helped a lot of clients even relocate from Miami to even different states. So yes, in that sense. And I want to say, that it's very easy to find me. Just type type my name in Google, and I would be a phone call away.
Spell that out for us real quick.
Vania Herrera. Just type my name in Google, in any browser, Vania Herrera, and you will find my Google page, and you can actually, reach out directly. You can call me, text me, however you prefer.
And if you're watching this video, there it went right across the screen. But if you're listening in, go check in the description. You can probably remember Vania Herrera. However, if you need it, it's there. Just go to the description, click on it. It'll get you straight to him. And you're going to be glad that you did because Vania and his team are there to serve you in Florida and maybe some surrounding states too. So, if you've just got real estate questions and want answers, Vanya and his team are going to give you the information you need. So, Raphael, my brother, we'd love to give you a shout out too. We know you're down there in South Florida. What all markets do you serve?
I serve the entire state of Florida. My main market is from Orlando all the way down to Key West, both coasts, East and West Coast. And I also do Texas, but not as much.
My man, folks want to find you, Raphael. How do they get in touch with you?
Very simple and all over social media. Hashtag mortgage help now. Hashtag mortgage help now or myself. 786-333-2592.
There it is, guys. Hey, and also, Raphael, just in case you don't speak English, Raphael has a few languages that he's fluent in. What all languages do you speak, Raphael?
Well, I'll tell you what. We speak Cubans. That's a joke. We speak Spanish. We can transact in Portuguese and Russian as well.
There it is, guys. There it is. So, if you need to speak in any of those languages, Raphael's got you covered. And I personally work with this team. Raphael does an amazing job in the lending industry. And let me tell you something about Raphael, just like Vanya. If you reach out, you're going to get him on the phone. And you're going to get the answers you need. These two guys are at the top of the game. That's why we brought them on. And, if you need anything, whether it's to find the house or to get qualified for the mortgage, they're here to help you out. So, hey, Dave, anything you want to say to our guests today before we wrap up the show?
No, man, I thought it was awesome. You're the epitome of the American dream, Vanya. Yeah. I commend you for that.
Thank you.
first-year immigrant coming to this country and have the success you have. You're an instant overnight success, what everybody says, which we all know that instant overnight success took you 14
overnight.
years to get to. On another podcast, what we did talk about, which I already know, is what'd you do on the side while you were struggling, making no money in real estate? They probably don't
Nothing.
realize
Nothing.
the struggles and how, the struggles that your family had to go through those first 4 or 5 years. That's a whole nother story.
Well, we'll bring the wife
Yes,
back.
it is. And let me tell you, again, it's funny. My wife, she always said, people don't know what it costs. Sweat, tears, and everything. It's really, really tough. So it wasn't easy. I wish it was, but it wasn't. So
Success is scary.
Well, like you said, Vania, when you come from a country like Cuba, which is communist, and you come to America, I guess it's all uphill. Everything else is downhill from there, right? So
I always say, no matter how bad it is, it's not gonna be worse than my country. So.
My man. I love that. I love your attitude about life and your passion about what you do, brother. We'll have to bring you and the wife back on the next show to talk about it. We'd love to hear about the struggle, and what went into building this thing. But brother, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
Really appreciate having you here. Rafael, my man, as always, we appreciate you and everything that you do. And I think we're going to call it a wrap. So we're your real estate success partners. I'm Devin and David.
I'm David Wynn.
If you want to check us out, come over to realestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's realestatesuccesspartner.com. But if you want to meet Vania and Rafael in person, get over to YouTube. Check out the video. You can find us there at the Dubuque Team. You can also find us at the Dubuque Team on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. And you're going to be glad you stopped in. Hey, make sure you comment, like, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. Until the next time, we'll see you then.
Bye, guys.